My name is Matthew Werner. I'm a student at Columbia Southern University. I'm currently in the Emergency Management 3000 class. This is a slideshow for the Unit 5 project. To start, Stafford County, Virginia has hosted numerous events, including in the 1600s when John Smith visited and kidnapped Pocahontas from the northern section of Stafford County. George Washington also spent much of his childhood in Stafford County, in the southern portion of Stafford County at Ferry Farm. There was a large Civil War battle, the Battle of Fredericksburg, that was fought in Stafford County, and one of the buildings nearby, homes nearby, was the only known building that both Abraham Lincoln and George Washington have both been in, not at the same time, but have both visited that building. Whitewater State Park is a new state park that recently opened, and it is located in the northeast portion of the county on the Whitewater Peninsula. This is where John Smith landed and kidnapped Pocahontas from. It is on the far northern edge, just south of Marine Corps Base Quantico, and the park is currently still being built in certain phases, but it also has a visitor center, various historic landmarks, as well as a historic center where displays are. There's kayaking and paddleboarding and other hiking trails and recreation that both citizens and visitors of Stafford County are welcome to utilize. George Washington Boyhood's Home is one of Stafford County's greatest claims to fame, and it is where, Stafford County's nickname is George Washington Boyhood's Home, so they really believe it and feel it. But George Washington lived on the northern bank of the Rappahannock River in southern Stafford at Ferry Farm. In 2000, it was declared a National Historic Landmark after years of effort. And in 2008, archaeologists excavated the remains of the home. There's now a visitor center and a replica home on the site that's open to the public for visiting. And the Civil War period. So throughout the Civil War, Stafford County was host to both Union and Confederate troops. There were numerous skirmishes and battles conducted nearby and throughout the county. City of Fredericksburg is just south of the Rappahannock River and is a strategic crossing point of the Rappahannock River. The city of Fredericksburg was bombarded by Union troops, and Union troops fought in the city of Fredericksburg, launched from Stafford County. This is when Abraham Lincoln visited this section and is credited with one of the keys to Abraham Lincoln winning re-election was his connection with the troops, and that mostly occurred in Stafford County at that time. One of a major disasters issues Stafford County faces is flooding. So Stafford County is located kind of in the corner of two rivers, the Potomac River to its north and east, and the Rappahannock River to its south. The Rappahannock River Stafford County is located at the fall line of the Rappahannock River, so we have pretty large flooding that can occur just south or just below the fall line, where the river widens and slows down and the riverine area gets pretty wide. Most of this area is not populated, but George Washington Boyhood's Home and various Civil War sites are located in this section. And then along the Potomac is where Whitewater State Park and other historic sites are located. And the Potomac River does flood, but not as often. It's a much larger river that can contain a lot more water and volume. Tornadoes and damaging winds do occur throughout Stafford County. We have hurricanes, tropical storms, tornadoes, straight line winds. In 2008, there was a pretty large tornado that came through the county, and recently, in July, we had some pretty damaging straight line winds that caused a good amount of destruction throughout the southern portion of the county. Luckily, there was no damage to any historic sites, but many homes were damaged. Trees fell on homes, power lines down, areas without power for about a week or so. Recovery of historic landmarks shouldn't be a first priority, as we need to worry about life safety and getting general life back to order, but it does allow for a sense of normalcy to return to an area, and I believe that repairing and reopening George Washington's boyhood home, it would be an important touchstone for citizens to see as a return to normal. It's located on a major roadway that many people drive by every day, and if it was seen as continuing to be closed, I feel like it would show that not everything is quite back the way it used to be prior to the disaster hitting. And prior to any disaster, there's mitigation efforts that can occur. If we're discussing flooding, levees could be built around low-lying areas and historic sites to prevent flooding. This is a pretty intensive project depending on how high flood levels could be expected to be. So cost is a factor in this. And then trees can be removed from around buildings to reduce the chance of damaging winds from knocking them into structures, as that's a major issue around Stafford County, as many trees don't have deep-seated roots and tend to fall over when strong winds and rain come throughout the county.